welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance, along with Ruben Amaro Jr., John Kruk to come. I'm Michael Barkan. That was a gritty win by your Philadelphia Phillies.
Great comeback win, Michael. And, it was a little frustrating at first. You thought this is going to be another one of those games. They're not going to come through when they needed to. But the bullpen did a fantastic job, and they really are the stars of the game. For them to flip up 5 innings of shutout baseball, just tremendously done. Throwing strikes, only 2 base runners in 5 innings. I mean, that's outstanding work. We know that they had a really slow start to the season in the first couple of games, but we also know that this is a pretty darn good bullpen. Matt Strahm was just spectacular. I mean, 5 strikeouts, 6 batters. You can't get much better than that. And gave the Phillies an opportunity to win the ball game. They grinded it out. They figured it out. And it was a great comeback win.
Let's go across the street, check in with John Kruk. He called today's game with Tom McCarthy for the crossover. John, the quote when you and Tom asked Nick Castellanos, what was your thought process at the plate? I loved his answer. Let's win the game. I didn't really have a thought process. And I think that says everything about him, doesn't it?
I think that's the best way to hit, to be honest with you. You know, that there's a lot of great hitters that are in the Hall of Fame that you wouldn't ask scientific advice to. So, the dumber the better. The more you can dumb it down, the more success you're going to have. Because when you start thinking, you're done. That's why Ruben struggled. He went to Stanford. He's smart, and they've back-to-back years played back-to-back years in the postseason. Got to the World Series, lost. Of course, we know what happened last year, but. These guys know they know how to win. It's just sometimes, there's going to be struggles during the season, and you hope that this is the worst of their struggles at the start they've gotten off to. But, look, they're not out of anything. I mean, I know it's really early in the season, but, you see a lot of positive signs for this team. And, one of them today was the bullpen, and the other is, besides Nick's walk-off, Alec Bohm's become one of the most clutch hitters in the National League. And, 7th inning on, to me, he's the guy you want with a bat in his hands because he figures out a way to drive runs in. He did it tonight to tie the game up, and then, the bullpen was just absolutely spectacular. And then Nick does, walks it off. And I think the only negative thing I could say about this game today was Nick hit that ball so good, he should have got it. They should give him at least a double so he gets an extra base hit.
Hey, Johnny, we talk about when we lose baseball games late in the game, how much of a downer it is. Talk about how much of an upper it is when guys shut it down, when the bullpen really shuts it down.
Yeah, you know what? The best thing that could happen to them is with a walk-off win on a Saturday night is coming back early Sunday. And, I know that it's, the next day starting pitcher, that's the momentum, the next day starting pitcher. And I get it, but, you just had a dramatic win. You've taken 2 of the first 3 from Pittsburgh, and now you got your ace on the mound who's looking for his first win this year. And you don't think Zach's fired up after that, and you don't think that he's going to want to get that first win under his belt, and you don't think that this offense is saying, here we come now. We figured it out. We did what we had to do. We got a clutch hit by Bohm, a very, very clutch hit by Nick to win the game. So, if they don't come out fired up tomorrow at 1:30 or whatever it starts, there's something wrong.
Zach Wheeler with his 1.89 going against Mitch Keller for the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about Spencer Turnbull, today's starter? Ruben and I were talking about it in the pregame program, what to expect from the new guy who didn't even have an ERA. That's how good he had pitched. How would you assess his performance today?
Command was not good today, and it hadn't been as good as the first 2 starts for Spencer. But, look, I know he didn't go as far as they would have liked him to go, but the good thing is that the bullpen hasn't been really taxed. And with Wheeler pitching tomorrow, you would think that you're not going to need a bunch of guys out of the bullpen, maybe 2, possibly 3 at the most if Zach's pitching like he's capable. And so to me, though, he didn't have his command that he normally has. and it was a struggle. And I know there were some close pitches, and you could see some frustration. But look, he was spectacular for his first 2 starts. Was he great today? No, but did he keep the Phillies in the game? Absolutely, he did, and gave that offense a chance. And then, we saw the end result.
Right on it. He ripped it to the middle of the field. Game winner. Love it.
And in case we don't know how much Nick Castellanos has struggled and how much his teammates have been behind him and are behind him, I think the hugs that he received, in particular, you saw the last one from Bryce Harper, and he said Philadelphia's a tough place to play, and we know that as well. The fans have been riding on him, media's been riding on him, and of course his batting average has been way down. So, this was a big moment for him in this still young season.
Michael, this is one of those teams that they truly like each other. They really respect each other, enjoy being with each other in that clubhouse. That doesn't happen very often in a lot of ball clubs. And I think it's important, especially in Philadelphia, to sort of be galvanized. I think the 93 team was like that. The 08 team was like that. Those guys really cared for each other and respected each other, and I think that's a really important element of being able to play in this city when there's a high expectation here.
Yeah, and that breeds confidence, too, you would think,
sure does,
for Nick Castellanos going forward. Let's hear what Rob Thomson has to say on a 4-3 win.
Yeah, he's been grinding. He hit the ball hard 3 times today and got the RBI in the first inning. That was a big hit, and I'm happy for him. I really am. He's been working hard and working on a swing, and hopefully he's finding something.
Schwarber today hit the ball really hard 3 times, walked twice, all against lefties.
Yeah.
How good was he in that performance?
Really good. And he made some adjustments on that last at bat. He kind of chased the first couple of pitches, and then he buried down and got the ball over the second baseman's head. I thought his at-bats were great today.
Just lead off home run, the patience, forcing the issue a little bit on the base pass. I mean, how important is that for him to do for the team as a whole?
Yeah, he can steal a base if they give it to him, and he's going to take advantage of it. He's smart. He's been around a while, and he's a veteran guy that has some savvy. So he can do a lot of little things like that to help the club.
Was he running on his own there in the 7th?
He was green, just because Chappie can be slow to the plate. So.
How big was what Strom did coming in?
It was huge. Turnbull his stuff was okay, but his command was off today. 4 walks, and that's atypical of him. So what Stromy did was really save the bullpen. The entire bullpen did an unbelievable job. They were just fantastic and kept us in it. And then finally we pushed one across to tie it, and then we get the big hit from Nick in the 9th to win it.
Should Witt have gone on the last
It's a tough read because you can't when the ball kicks off the catcher that way towards our dugout, the depth perception, you don't have any depth perception as a runner at third base, so you really don't know how far the ball is away from the catcher. So could he have scored? Sure, but it's tough to see.
Why do you think Turnbull struggled in his command today?
I don't know. I don't. It happens from time to time. So.
Are guys kind of naturally not inclined to come home on a pass ball or a wild pitch anymore because of the wall back there? Sort of a sense of caution they have?
I think, there's a pause there at third base because of the brick back there. But that was off to the side. But, yeah, we've seen it a couple of times lately where the balls just kick right back to the catcher. Yeah.
You had talked before about Nick mentioning he was having trouble with the new wall in the right. He obviously made a nice play in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, he really did.
Working on that to just take extra.
Yeah, him and Paco work on all kinds of different things, but that's one of them. And I think it's just sort of getting used to the graphics on the board and figuring out where you're at all times. So I think, he made a really nice play earlier in the game. So I think he's getting used to it.
Look at the numbers. Strom, 2 innings pitched, 5 punch-outs. That was dominant.
Soto gave up a hit. Alvarado, perfect. Hoffman as well.
Yeah, all of them just pitched extraordinarily well, and that's so uplifting for the ball club. They're much maligned because, shoot, I mean, in the first couple of games, people thought, what's going on with this bullpen? Guess what? They have a good bullpen. They just got off to a little bit of a slow start, and their numbers are not great because it's going to take a long time to get those ERAs down. But these guys can pitch. There's a lot of thunder out of that back end of the bullpen with some great arms, and hopefully that'll continue to carry them.
Heck, they got a good team, for goodness sakes.
Yes, they do.
They're starting to blossom just a little bit, back above 500 at 8-7.
On 5 times. That's right, 5 times. For those of you who think that he should not be leading off, he's probably the only guy on the team who's got on base 5 times in a game so far this year, and that's the reason why. He can do things. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. He can see pitches. He can put the ball in play and get on base. Nice job by Schwartz.
Is the batting average now a bonus? Because he didn't hit that, and again, long way to go, but he's batting almost 260, and he didn't see that last year. What does that mean positively?
I think it's super important. I mean, the batting average actually does matter. And when people who think that a batting average doesn't matter, for him especially, because if he hits 240 or 250 or 260, he's going to drive in runs. He's going to hit home runs. He's going to be a much better hitter, a more productive hitter. And that's something Charlie Manuel used to preach to Jim Thome all the time. Just think about hitting 300. All the rest of the stuff will happen.
So, heroes of the day. You got Schwarber, you got Strom, and you darn sure got Nick Castellanos with the walk-off hit. Here he is in the clubhouse.
What's it feeling like when you made contact?
Great, because I knew it was good enough for a sac fly.
Do you go up there sitting dead red in that kind of situation or no?
Honestly, that was probably my first at-bat all year where I didn't have an approach. I wasn't looking for a pitch, nothing. I was just ready to hit.
Why?
Because I wanted to end the game, bro.
How good did it feel to make that catch against the wall with some of the adjustments you've been making out there?
Good. It takes a couple of times, going back with the screen and the light in your eyes, to get used to it. But today was fine. I didn't notice it.
Is it easier during the day, I guess?
I haven't thought about that, but maybe.
You guys talk about how it can be a different guy every night. Kyle today reached 5 times all against the lefty. Just how locked in did he look today?
Well, I mean, honestly, he's looked pretty locked in all season. He's really taken to this DH role, really well, and he's doing fantastic.
With the way your season has started, did it feel extra good to come through in that spot?
I mean, anytime that you can come through and end the game, it's going to feel good. But for sure, to answer your question, is yes.
I know you kind of to see the guys sort of rushing at you. You sort of kind of seem to relish that moment there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun when all your friends are running at you, man. It's a good time.
Not to say that you should go up to every at bat without an approach, but is that maybe is this a lesson maybe that it's not the worst idea sometimes?
Honestly, man, the only approach I've really had consistently when I'm doing well is just to see ball, hit ball. That's about it. And I think just having an opportunity to end the game kind of made me get back to that simplicity.
Were you happy when you were hitting today?
Was I happy when I was hitting today?
Like you said last night.
I don't know how to answer that question.
What about Spencer only goes 4 innings within 5 scores in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Just watching them from right field and kind of, I think it was 1 hit in 5 innings.
Yeah.
How big of how important does that end up being to the win for you guys with the bullpen?
Well, huge, obviously. Anytime you win a game by a run, but I think the big thing for them is that they look like they were attacking the strike zone, all day. No one ever looked like they got kind of in their own way. It really looked like they were attacking from the moment they stepped on the mound. So as a defender, that's great too because they keep their tempo and everything. It's easy for us to stay locked in.